Ooh.
How much did submission protocols change for 3D Studio Max specifically?
Not really. It's sort of interesting. I guess from a scripting standpoint, uh, for people familiar with how jobs are submitted, I guess Bobo could probably go really deep into detail on this one if he wants to. But
I could.
yeah, please.
Some of the bigger changes were one studio asked us to integrate better with RPM, the Render Path Manager by Grant Adam. And we made sure that the script that is run without RPM is the same script that is run with RPM. So the user interface is the same, and you just point to the installation of the submit max to deadline script from RPM, and it uses the same file, so I don't need two separate installs. The other thing that had to be changed in order to use the database, because in the past, when you were submitting auxiliary files, let's say all the textures and external files with the job, we were kind of hacking the job file. After the submission was done, we would write all their names as auxiliary files to the file. Now those files don't exist there in the database, so it wasn't possible to use this approach anymore. And what we changed was during the submission, a text file is created, which is the complete command line that the deadline submitter uses. And that text file contains all the command line switches and all the auxiliary files, which means there is no limitation to the command line length anymore, because the file can be any length, and the deadline command application will execute it as if it was a command line. So that was a very positive change, and pretty much every submission operation from inside of submit max to deadline, the built-in script, now uses that file, and those files are kept in subfolders now with the date and time of the submission, so I can go and take a look at all the settings and the command line that was used, or even resubmit theoretically, because all the data is there. It also has the side effect, and the reason was done with subfolders was you can run 2 or more copies of Max and submit in parallel without the submission stepping on each other's toes, because all the files are written in encapsulated subfolders. So these were some of the major changes that we had to make. First, to make it work better. Second, to make it work with Deadline 6 database.